From Cornwall to Birmingham and Johnston and Bexhill, here's Ruben Spire on the radio.
Hello to Daniel Barrie. How are you today?
All right, thank you very much. How are you, yourself?
I'm very well, thank you. Can you tell me how long have you been a singer-songwriter for?
Well, it kind of started around about 7 years ago when I picked up guitar for the second time, and I actually stuck with it and was able to learn it. And then I basically at the same time I started learning, I was pretty soon playing. So I started to play. I think about 4 months after I picked up guitar was my first live performance, and then my songwriting came about. I was writing before lockdown, but then lockdown hit, and that was when I'd sort of flourished into being a better songwriter than I had been. I kind of was able to kind of perfect my craft, or I wouldn't say it's perfect yet. It's getting there, getting towards there. So basically, for that amount of time, and then since then, it's been a very kind of steady sort of progression of playing more gigs, releasing more music, recording in the studio, collaborating with other people, which kind of just builds up your experience and your kind of knowledge in that field. So it's definitely been a thing that's progressed over time, but about 7 years, I'd say. I've been doing the kind of songwriting, singer-songwriter thing.
So what was it like going to the recording studio for the first time?
Well, it was kind of a weird situation. The first time I went to the studio was in October 2020. So obviously we had the kind of COVID tier street. We were, I think, in one of the high tiers. So it was kind of weird, masks on, quite a disconnect a little bit to the experiences I've had since. It was quite daunting actually, because till you actually get recorded, it's a bit of a weird thing. You don't really hear yourself as in depth as you do when you record. And now I have a home studio, I'm able to kind of sort of listen into it and hone and go, okay, maybe my rhythm isn't that good, my vocals need a little bit of work, but you kind of go in that, you're hearing yourself back and you're like, oh, that bit was not right, that bit was so it's all a bit daunting, and especially being in there with sort of session guys and all that kind of stuff, when people play on the songs who are just incredible musicians, it's amazing, but you kind of look at them and you go, wow, you're like, that's the level you need to be at. So it was kind of a bit of an enlightenment moment where I was like, okay, I know the next stages I need to be at. But the producer was lovely to me, John Rivers, who I've worked with since. He's been awesome at kind of relaxing you into the experience and making it quite fun and an open environment to create, because you are like bearing your soul out on some of the songs. So you want an environment where you feel comfortable, as well as somewhere where someone can say, actually, you need to do that take again, or that wasn't quite good enough.
So, can you tell me more about your debut single called Lay Me Down?
Lay Me Down. I think that one came out, I think 2022 or 2021, one of those years, kind of in that time. Lay Me Down was it's still a song I love. I don't necessarily play it live as much as I can, but it's a lovely song. And that was, I think, my sort of third time in the studio recording my music. And so that was, it's a really cool song. It's a song all about kind of being with someone and being able to express who you really are. Sometimes when you're with other people, your walls up, and with the right person, you kind of let all those sort of, let the gates open, let people know who you really are. So that's what the song's about, is that being able to express yourself to someone in quite a loving way.
So can you tell me more about Empty Bed?
Yeah, so Empty Bed, that it's one of my favorite songs I've written. So I was actually broken up with on the way to a gig, and I got the message through, and that was kind of a bit devastating. I ended up cancelling the gig, and it really affected me. But I wasn't able to kind of write about it. Everything in my life I write about. So my friends probably get a bit sick of it that I write about everyone. But it took me about 4 months, and I woke up one evening and was like, why haven't I actually written a song about this? And sometimes late at night is when you think about these things the most. So I was just late at night, and I got a guitar and kind of wrote the song. And it's all about, you know, kind of wondering why it ended. And it was quite an abrupt end to a relationship, very much kind of blindsided by a bit. So it's all about all these questions you have, but also the kind of bridge and the kind of tie back is that actually I'm doing a lot better than I was before, and I'm kind of growing as a person and as someone, sort of as an adult. And so that's what the kind of message of the song. It's a sad song, but with a tinge of a little bit of happy in there.
So can you tell me more about Won't Leave a Sore?
Won't Leave a Scar. Yeah, that Won't Leave a Scar is it's a cool one. So that one was I was driving back from a gig. Well, I wasn't driving. I can't drive, but I was in the back of the car with a few of my mates from a gig in Cambridge, and we were playing the Eagles, and a song came on, and I was loving I love the progressions of the Eagles. They have some really interesting progressions. And when I got back to my uni accommodation, I got my guitar out, and again just sort of came up with a cool guitar part to the song, and then ended up writing the lyrics, which is all a kind of third person a view of something, and trying to, it's like someone's talking to another person. It's kind of like me talking to myself about a kind of heartbroken situation. But the recording of that's a bit interesting. So I actually recorded the majority of the parts in the SSL studio in Guildford, with Zach, a good friend of mine, on drums, Lola on some vocals, who again is another cool close friend, and I played the bass and the guitar parts and sang. And then it was actually mixed and mastered by John Rivers at Woodbine Street Studios, with a few little bits added to it. But that was sort of the recording process. It was the first time I'd done a song in one studio and finished it off in another one. So it's a bit of a different experience, that recording with one set of producers and then going over to another one. And I was so happy with the end result of it. And I still think it's one of it's probably not my best performing, but I think it's one of the most underrated songs of mine. I really love it. I think the lyrics are really strong, and one of favorite of mine. I mean, I love all my songs, but that's the reason you release them. But yeah.
So can you tell me more about Still Feels True?
So Still Feels True, that came out last summer. That again was it was 2 days in the studio, and the song's all about a relationship where it's just about to end, and you don't want to end it really, but you understand that you need more from life, but you're not quite ready to stop having someone love you. It's kind of a bit of a selfish song in the way. It's all about saying, well, I do still love you, I think. And it is kind of all about that, and whether you deserve to be treated better, and a different thing, but you're still kind of hanging on to a relationship, which I love writing about these kind of grey areas in life. I'm not necessarily someone that I do have them, but not, black and white love songs, black and white, heartbreak songs. I very much love the kind of grey of sometimes the narrator isn't always in the right. But that's just their perspective, and I think that's such an interesting thing, and a power you get from songwriting is you can choose the perspective it's told from. And so it Still Feels True. That's kind of where it comes from. But when we went in to record it, it's got this really, I think it's got a really happy, summery vibe to it. But the lyrics, if you listen to them, are quite, I don't know, quite dark, quite sad. And so I love the contrast. If you just listen to it face value, you think, oh, that's quite a summery, sort of bouncy song. But when you look into it, the lyrics are a little bit deeper than that. But again, it's one of my best performing songs. I absolutely love it, and it's a joy to play live. It's one of the funnest songs I've written. Like, to play on guitar and to sing, it's a nice one.
So can you tell me more about your latest single called Living a Lie?
Yeah, Living a Lie is Living a Lie. I love it. It's a cool song. That one is actually all about me leaving university. Sometimes my songs aren't necessarily about a situation I have. Like it might be a situation a friend's had, or just the kind of thought process. But Living a Lie is about my experiences of leaving university and kind of finding out who I am on my own, and kind of taking away from that environment of kind of drinking, going out a lot, and doing all that stuff, to coming back and focusing more on being a full time musician, and so buckling down and getting things done. So that's what the song's about. It's all about saying, actually, before going out and doing all the the partying and all that wasn't really who I am, and being home, and they might say, you've changed, you've been different, but you actually were living a lie beforehand, and now you're being who you really are. So, and it's kind of a positive song about not letting other people's words sort of affect you or phase you. So that's what the song's about, and it's just about trying to be happy in who you are. So yeah, and again, it's my best performing song. I absolutely love it. It always goes down well when I play it live. So yeah, love the songs that I have released, and some exciting things coming up.
So is there an artist that you want to collaborate with on a feature song, maybe track together?
Yeah, there's a few people, especially a few in the local scene that I've seen you interviewed. Like, actually, I've got a CD here. Chrissy Ducks is someone that I'm very good friends with, and I think I'd love to do a song with her. There's a few other people in the local scene that I'm sort of got things collaborating, things in the works. So it kind of, people are very busy, schedules around that, but I do love I'm a big fan of bands like Fleetwood Mac and harmony bands with males and females. So I always quite like that mix of those two voices on there. That it always gives a cool, nice vibe to a song.
So you do quite a few open mics, don't you, that you run? So can you tell me more about them?
Yeah, so I've run a few. I have the permanent one I've got is at the Oak House in Leamington. That's a real fun one to run, because it's very much got its own community around it. It's a lot of the kind of Leamington musicians, and it's a real good fun one. There's a lot of jamming, which I always love doing, and being able to play as musicians together, which I think is the point of music. Is this is shared experience between people, and so playing with other people is the most important part. And so I love that element of it, and I love the fact there's different styles and different talents. People play different instruments. There's someone that comes down with the mandolin, which is awesome. There's some amazing guitar players. Yeah, some great songwriters. So it's always a fun one, and it's always busy, which is always nice about an open mic. A few others that I've run, yeah, they're all great. All enjoyed the venues. People that come down are brilliant. So yeah, running open mics is always a really enjoyable evening, because I get to sit and watch some awesome talent, and yeah, very nice.
So you've got some gigs coming up. So can you tell me more about them?
Yeah, so I've got a bit of a March tour. So I've got one gig on the 4th at the Half Moon in Putney, which is a kind of a bit of a bucket list venue. It's one I've really wanted to play for a while, and so it was one I wanted to get on the bill for. So I managed to get on there, and I'm really looking forward to that. That's £2 tickets. You can come down if you're in London. It's a good one to go to. Then on the 16th of March, I'm playing the O2 Institute 3, which again, actually in this run of tour, has been some real sort of. I've got like a 5-year plan and a few sort of single year plans about where I want to get to, and these sort of all the venues are venues I really wanted to play. So really exciting. So O2 Institute 3. There's some awesome bands that are on the bill. So it's going to be a good gig, that on the 16th. And then on the 23rd, the Jag Club in Coventry. So I've got two sort of hometown Coventry gigs. So Jag Club on the 23rd, on the 30th, the Tin Arts. I'm really looking forward to the Tin Arts. It's a venue that I've seen a few people play at, and it's one that it's nice to kind of finally kind of have your moment on the stage. So really looking forward to that. I've got teasing some new releases and some exciting announcements that we'll be having during the gigs. So yeah, really good.
So finally, can you tell me what's it like being a full-time musician and being independent artists in the world that we live in?
Yeah, well, it's not easy. I mean, if it was easy, loads of people would do it, but it's you do it because you love it, and And that's the reason, I love music. It's always been something since I was 3 that I've wanted to do and to kind of make it my career. And it's all about, having a more portfolio career. So doing loads of stuff in music. So running the open mics, releasing the music, at the moment, starting a band. So just all of those different things. It's, I love it. I mean, getting to be part of the music scene and release your own music and see people, reacting to it, enjoying it. That's the most important thing. And that's what keeps me going as a musician. And so I love it. Yeah.
So, finally, can you tell me, listeners, where can I find you on your social media?
Yeah, so you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Daniel Barrie and the Drop D. Same on YouTube and TikTok, and on Spotify or Apple Music. Just search Daniel Barrie, and that's Barrie with an IE, and you'll find my music over there. We've got some exciting stuff. So got a single coming out on the it hasn't been confirmed yet, but a single coming out early April. So that'll be really exciting. So do look out for that.
Thank you for letting me chat to you today.
Oh, thank you, Ruben. Thanks for talking to me. Thanks for letting me have it on here.
And enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much. You too.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.